Hey, Jesse.
Hey, Lindsay.
What are you drinking today?
It's truly unruly. It's berry blast. Yes, from the past.
That's also what I'm drinking today. We went to the good old liquor store.
Lacra.
And I have Vista Bays that I'm also going to be drinking. But I had these during the summer. And I was like, you know what? I kind of liked them. But they're very strong. I do suggest mixing them with like a Sprite. Or in my case, a Sprite Zero. But anyways.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, and happy almost Halloween. Like it's 2 days away from the day this will come out.
Yeah.
We're excited. We're ready to bar the way it's bothering me. Hi, I'll look in your face. Okay. There we go.
We like that better?
Yeah.
You like that better?
Well, it's the bar.
You know, like Men in Black where he pulls his skin all the way back. And he's like, you like butter? His head's all like, air, your skin's falling off your bones.
I love that lady because she's just so like, your skin's falling off your bones.
Yeah. Sugar water.
But anywho, so today we're recapping. Basically, it's the Devil Made Me Do It case that the Conjuring 3 is based off of.
Yes.
And the audiobook that I read about the case was The Devil in Connecticut, which is a very Warren biased book. I mean, that author literally worked with them for a couple of different
Kind of put me on the fence again.
I know.
Like, okay, I was Team Lindsay over here on when we did the podcast. I was kind of Team Lindsay. And then it was just like, I watched this, I'm kind of on the fence again. I'm like,
Well, we watched The Devil on Trial. You're on the fence?
Still I'm on the fence, I think.
How?
I think.
How did that documentary not make you more on my team?
At the end of it, I was like, well, they only got like a couple of grand out of fucking trying to make this a big thing. And so they should have been saying, hey, this is bullshit all to begin with, right?
Well, what I said was, okay, so I told you that Carl Jr. came out, I think it was 2007, spoke out against it, and his brother David, the one who was possessed, spoke with him. But then he flipped the script back to, yes, I was possessed when Netflix made that documentary.
Yeah. And
there was money involved.
Right. It was like, I got to make this a thing again.
Yes. So, I mean, I believe in paranormal activity. I don't think that this was what it was made out to be. And I definitely don't feel like the devil made Arne kill Alan Bono. Sorry. I just don't
think that either.
But we're going to start, towards the beginning. So the Johnson family, which is Arne's family, it's his mom, sisters, and niece. And they all live together in Bridgeport. And Debbie Glatzel has been boarding with them for a few years. And they decide, and she has a little boy from a previous marriage when she was a teenager. She's 26 at this time. So they find a house in Newtown or Newtown. They say Newtown on the documentary, but in the book that I listened to, it was called Newton. So I don't know. Tell us if you're from Connecticut. Is it Newton or Newtown?
I think it's kind of like some of the places in Florida where they say like Ocala.
I ain't never heard it called that. I've heard it called Ocala. I've heard it called Ocala. And then Alachua has been called
Alachua.
Or Alachua.
Yeah. That's kind of like the thing, I like Newton. Isaac.
Newton.
Well,
it is spelled Newtown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's spelled Newtown.
But anyway, so Debbie and Arne are in a relationship, which was very weird because Debbie met Arne when he was 12 years old.
Yeah.
And Debbie was 19.
So there's some hidden turmoil going on right there to begin with. Not right. It's not right.
And, but now he's 19 or 18, almost 19, and she's 26. So her, Arne, and Jason her and Arnie decide to go find a new home for his whole family, along with Jason. They find a house that is going to be accommodating to the whole family, and they're going to have their own like little private quarters in this apartment. They get there. They had signed the lease, like sight unseen. So they get there. Everything's kind of weird. Like the niece of the landlord is still living there in the apartment where Arnie, Debbie, and Jason, her little boy, is supposed to live at. And then so there's some items from a previous tenant still in the house, one being a waterbed. And in the waterbed room is where everything goes down.
Yeah, he says he gets like pushed in. Something pushes him in the waterbed.
So
like they were cleaning up and straightening up and everything.
Debbie's mom and her brothers, David, Alan, and Carl Jr.
Right.
all come over to help clean this house. Debbie gives them all little jobs. David's was to sweep and clean out the closets or something like that. And when he goes into the waterbed room, like Jesse said.
And I was like, this is a healthy thing. Like they're just going in, they're getting all their stuff together, cleaning up, straightening up and all that. And something shoves him on the waterbed and says, beware. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? I'd have been the fuck out of there forever, evermore. Right there.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of these cases. I don't understand why people hung around. I know it's expensive to move, whether your house is haunted as fuck or not. But like, I know it was a different time period that a lot of these cases happen. And I don't know. I just don't know why more of it wasn't reported to authorities. So it could have been like locked in as more
documented better.
Yeah, less bullshit.
Because a lot of the like you were telling me, you said that a lot of the documentation we can't even have access to it, right?
Yeah, and but I'm going to talk more about that in the next couple of episodes, because I'm going to talk more about cases that Ed and Lorraine Warren were a part of and who they were and how they got started in this whole demonology / clairvoyant / Jesus saves teamwork.
Well, that's where I was kind of on the fence about it. I'm still kind of, because I want more proof. I want more stuff. So if anybody if you have access to that shit, send it to us.
Well, you
want more.
They have audio.
Yeah.
Okay. But there was supposed a video that nobody's seen.
Right.
Carl Jr. lived in the house with this family and says that it is all bullshit. And also, we were talking about this last night when we were watching the documentary. David Glatzel, now it's a grown man, remembers details of his possession, but other people
all the
don't.
rest of them don't. When they're possessed, if they don't, it's like a blackout. Possessed,
you're right.
They don't remember shit out of fuck. Then it's like you can't recall that. Nothing ties together. When something takes you over completely, you're supposed to not remember that. So I don't remember seeing anything that I've seen and recall, and nobody has ever remembered all the stuff that was going on like he did. Like it was like making it up, but he stuck to his story, and it did seem so coerced, like something led him on to doing all, you know.
After they left the rental house, they decided that night that they were going to go back to the Glatzel house and stay the night there after shit just wasn't going right. And this was before they found out that David had a encounter. So they get back to the Glatzel house. They're all having dinner and whatever. And later on in the evening, David tells Alan. And he's like, well, we got to tell the family. So they told the family, and then weird shit starts happening to the family. And they decide that they're not going to move. David and Arnie decide that they're not going to move into the rental house. But David's mom has put all the money she has into signing into this home. So she's like, well, you guys are weirdos. We're moving in here. So it was her 2 daughters and niece. And Arnie was like begging and pleading. Arnie and Debbie were like, please don't do this. And then even the tenant was like, Oh, he saw, an old man ghost, because that was what he said at first. That was in the book, that he saw an old man ghost. But then on this documentary, he said it was a Halloween devil costume entity that he saw. Remember?
Yeah.
In the book that I listened to, which was supposed to be a firsthand account, he saw an old man first who later on became to look like Satan, which they called the beast. And it's very confusing. So anyway, while they're at the Glatzel house, David also says that he can see what's going on at this rental house. And this was before they go back and say, we're not moving. The dog is getting tormented. They leave their poor little dog behind all night long. And the dog gets tormented. When they show up at the house to get their shit, because they're not going to stay anymore, the dog is like matted and sweaty and bloody, and he's distressed, allegedly. So Mary says, I'm going to live in this house. You guys do what you want to do. So they all move back to the Glatzel house, where shit continues to go down with David. So they decide, and in their home, like everybody's starting to experience weird shit. And then Carl Jr. is getting an attitude because he's like, y'all are crazy. Then they think that he's being
possessed.
Not quite possessed yet. They think that he's being affected by this entity as well, because now he's got an attitude making fun of his brother, which he never did before. But at the same time, here's this new thing that you've never experienced before happen in your family.
And he's just like, y'all are fucking shot out. What the hell?
Wild. This is wild.
Yeah.
So at first, Judy calls some priests to come bless the house. They're like, here's some holy candles. Burn these. Get back with us.
And in the doc, they were trying to portray that like they were a religious family.
Right.
But they weren't. They weren't not. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, let's decorate the house. Let's break out all the cool stuff and make it like we're all this holy Catholic, Christian thing. But they really weren't. They're dragging priests into this stuff and trying to make it to where they can add more of a narrative to me,
So the priests can't do anything. So they, of course, end up getting with the Warrens, who come in and tell them that they're in the infestation stage of a haunting. And so it's infestation, oppression, and possession. So they're in the infestation. They try to get to the source of where this all started. And the word that I couldn't think of, by the way, was a deliverance. When they instead of doing a whole exorcism on David, they were just supposed to do a deliverance, like delivering him from the evil, which is pretty much the same as what I said. I said rebuking.
Right.
That's all that. And here's another argument that I have. So the Christian denomination, the Christian religion will tell you that the devil has no power. But in all these cases,
seems like they have all the power. Yeah. Revolution.
That guy is so great. What's his name?
Oh, I don't know, but I've been watching him a lot. Revolution.
Yeah, so this guy on TikTok who lists, he's got this great little handlebar mustache. He's great. And he lists all these things that are worthy of revolution.
I agree with every one of them. Why?
Love it.
I think that I need to add some, because I think I have some things I need to say too.
So comment and he'll
We got to take the power back. Yes. Yeah, I do think that eventually that is probably going to happen, but it needs to happen locally. Not that we're into politics or anything like that, but I do like that revolution guy. I really like that stuff. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, you don't have to be into politics just to see what is bullshit is going on around you that ain't right at all.
Exactly.
Okay, so they do a couple of these deliverances, which is basically an exorcism that's not being permitted by the Roman Catholic Church or the diocese. And at one point in one of them, I don't know if I said this in the episode or not, but like David allegedly almost dies. Like he was in fear for his life because I don't know what they do during an exorcism, but I know just from hearing probably 100 different cases about shit like that, it's traumatic to, because it's always on kids. It's very traumatic. And when they were fearing that David was possibly could lose his life over this, Arnie challenges Satan, the entity, and says, "Take me."
Which is completely all set up just like Exorcism, the Exorcist movie. And I'm like, this is so set up. It just seems...
It does seem very set up.
It seems like somebody's telling them what to do and when to do it. And we'll document what they're doing after we've done, taught them how to act this way. I just
Carl Jr. says that when the Warrens initially came to their home, he said, okay, this is what you're going to start experiencing with David. And sure enough, it happens. But David overhears all of it. Like Ed and Lorraine are telling them right there in their living room in front of the whole family what's going to happen. And in 2007, David said that he fed into it.
It's a charismatic proclamation where they're actually manifesting something to actually happen, right? That's what I feel like is what.
And they're basically coaxing this kid into doing what he did.
Revolution.
But so now the beast has left David. Now it's into Arnie, but it happens slow at first. So according to the book, I do believe, or I may have read this, Arnie gets possessed on a few different encounters before a tragedy happens. So everything's calmed down at the Glatzel house. Debbie's like, I think it's a good time for us to go out, me, Arnie, and Jason, go find our own place again. She finds a man named Alan Bono who has a kennel that he has inherited. He doesn't really want to take care of it, and that is her profession. She is a professional dog groomer and knows how to run a kennel.
The thing about that is I don't think I could ever drain the anal gland of any animals, I don't think I could do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have to do that?
Yeah. That's like a big thing. You take your dog. Oh, especially if you have
we're not animal people, so I don't.
Yeah.
We like animals. We just don't want one.
Well, years ago when I had a little terrier dog, that was one of the things that they do for you. Is that's part of the service. It's like squeezing the butthole of animals.
What does that do?
I don't know, but there's a thing. Maybe we can look it up. But there's a thing where they do that. They have an anal draining thing where they squeeze and
Listeners, comment on this and help me understand, because I don't know. I had never heard of that.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing. Trimming and cool, whatever, even if it's a crazy-ass dog that's kind of rough to get them all. But I love that. That's really cool, because you can make, poodles look really cool or whatever kind of animals look really cool. Or little dogs, you can make them look like little tigers and fucking lions and shit. And oh, my. Yeah.
Tigers and bears.
Yeah. But the butthole thing, I don't think I could be a butthole surfer on that one. Yeah, because I got to squeeze it or something. Yeah, you got to look that up. Yeah, thing.
Well, I do know that's how they get, what is it, raspberry and vanilla artificial flavoring?
Oh, the beaver ass, North American beaver ass. We've all ate it. Yeah,
all of us.
We have all ate the North American anus
It's from
gland.
milking the anal glands of a North American beaver. That is how you get...
Well, they harvest them and they dry them out, and they use that extract from the dried out anal gland. Yeah.
Who discovered that?
Yeah, I guess, maybe some trappers or some shit walking around. It's let's eat this butthole. Oh, this is good. Shit. Let's make ice cream from this.
See, that's the kind of shit that hurts my brain. Who was the first one to discover that?
Yeah, who licked the butthole of the beaver?
American beaver tastes like vanilla and raspberry.
Well, it had to have been some, because that was a big thing.
That's what it tastes like, but that's what they use to make those flavors.
Yes, right? Yeah. For some reason, that creates a taste that tastes like that.
Vanilla is vanilla and raspberry, right? That's just the two. And artificial flavoring, not natural.
No, that's a natural flavor. It's not artificial at all.
It says that when I looked it up before, it says it's how they make the artificial flavor.
Yeah, but but it's a natural, I don't know how you twist that, but it's naturally the gland from the beaver's
But the
butthole.
flavor is artificial.
Yeah, it's not the actual berry or the yes,
right.
Yes.
It's not vanilla and it's not.
But it's
raspberry.
yeah. So that but there's
butthole.
there's in the line of the butthole but it's a natural thing, but it just makes the artificial flavor. So there's a line there, right?
So anyhow,
we've all ate it. You have too over there, listeners.
Oh,
Swear
yeah.
to God.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look it up. I forgot the name of it. They got a big old long ass name of what they call that.
So stay away from artificial flavors if you are terrified of the fact that it comes from a beaver's butthole.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
read what's in your food.
So Arnie, Debbie, and little Jason move into. There's an apartment above the kennels that they're going to live in. It's like a dream combo there. Okay, you got your home and your workplace all together. Now, Alan Bono, he was a cool older guy, and when I was listening to the book, I was like expecting him to be this like old haggard guy that kind of looked like David Parker Ray. I don't know why, but then when I looked up his picture, I'm like, he was a
pretty kid Joe. Yeah,
he was a pretty boy, like legit. So, Alan's a drunk though, and they got along with him pretty well, but sometimes he could be too much. It was said that he would just kind of drink till he passed out. Well, one day, I forgot the exact date and I don't have my notes. I think it was February, right? February 1981. Yeah. So Arnie wakes up, he doesn't feel good. And so he calls out from work. Debbie's sisters and niece are going to stay. They were like out, school was out that day, so they were going to stay the night. And so they're working in the kennels. Alan's like, let's all go out to lunch. So Arnie, by this time, I guess, was feeling a little bit better. He was better enough to go eat lunch, and they all had like burgers and fries at a restaurant that also served wine because 13 glasses of wine were ordered to this table. Now, allegedly, Debbie didn't drink any. Arnie had one glass after being pressured by Alan, and Alan drank the rest. And then on the way back, they stopped at a liquor store so Alan could get more wine, and he continued drinking. Just
like the police said at the very end of it, alcohol, some turmoil, a trifecta type relationship going on. It's all there.
There was rumors that Alan and Debbie had an affair. Mm-hmm. Don't know when, because, all this kind of just happened very quickly. So the story goes that Debbie felt like something bad was going to happen. She got in a feeling of impending doom, called her mother, and her mother was like, oh my God, I got the same feeling. She was like, y'all just come on over here. Well, Debbie's like, I got to finish up with work. But then Judy Glatzel, the mother of the family, I don't know if I've mentioned her name in this episode, but she starts calling back every half hour, and then finally is just like, get here now. Like, I really feel like something bad's going to happen. Well, Alan had still been drinking and was insisting on them staying for dinner as well. Debbie was like, no, we're going to go to my mom's house. And he's like, please, please, please. And she didn't really want to, but she was like, okay, I'm going to go get pizza. So they go get pizza, and I don't know if I put this in the story, but as the book is told, she wanted to because Alan was in their apartment. She wanted to get him to his apartment because she knew once he had drank enough, he was going to pass out, and didn't want him passing out in their apartment. So she's like, all right, we're going to go eat this pizza in your place. So they get to his place, and he's got the music blaring. He's fucking with the TV. He's pissed off and yelling and cussing at the TV. Very, very chaotic situation.
Yeah, he's throwing shit and all
throwing shit, yeah. Right. And then, and Debbie and Arnie are like, all right, we gotta go. So they they gather up the girls who are trying to go, and Alan, in kind of a drunken rage, grabs one of the girls. Well, somehow during all this Debbie says that Arnie gets possessed and starts hitting and beating her. This is my opinion, and I'm going to say this. I feel like the affair was exposed at that point, because why else would he just be? I mean, I'm sorry. I understand that if this was a real possession, that could possibly happen. Mm-hmm. But it's just really convenient how out of nowhere he starts beating Debbie, even though Alan is holding on to one of the girls, and Alan should be the sole purpose, the sole focus of any kind of altercation. But Arnie is beating on Debbie. And then he supposedly comes to and apologizes. I guess the devil left him for a minute. But then he comes back in him and he stabs Alan Bono.
Yeah, and some of the kids are in the car and they didn't see what really.
Yeah, two of the kids had run down to the car.
Yeah.
And the other one had gotten up from the grip before Arnie and Alan start going at it. Doesn't that make sense though? So at some point, I really feel like this affair.
Fit of rage, man. All the shit fucking hit the fan.
Shit hit the fan.
Shit hit the fan, and I'm drunk, and I'm exposing revolution.
I do not feel like the devil had any part of this story.
No.
So it is alleged that it's not alleged. This actually happened. So after the stabbing, Arnie takes off. But it is alleged that when he was found, he did not remember anything. And he was like, huh? I did what? I murdered?
Right.
So he gets arrested. And now the Warrens, they have already premeditated this happening after the exorcism of David. They went to the police and said, I feel like something bad is going to happen and a killing may involved. And I think she actually said stabbing.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if they took it serious or not, because the Warrens work with the police. They work with the church. They work with, they had already been at this for about 30 years.
This is like a premeditated, coerced.
Yeah.
All the worst. Yeah. I think just planting all that, the seed in there, and then you put all the rest of it in the salad, everything just exploded on top of, the alcohol and the relationship and the turmoil and everything hit the fan all at one time. He probably used all of that to actually manifest something that turned into something, like the knife and shit. I feel like they kind of planted the seed there,
Maybe Lorraine had some, because, they had been involved with this family a lot over the past few months. Maybe she knew that Debbie was running around on Arnie. Maybe she knew.
Yeah, well, then they all might have confided into him in different situations. Maybe they pulled him in, and had,
there's still a lot of the story that we just don't know. Probably never will.
Right. Had independent confessions or something with each of them, and they all kind of fucking knew what was in their minds and then started feeding off of that to create a huge narrative,
But Lorraine and Ed said, no, Arnie didn't do this. The devil did, because he tested the devil and the devil entered him and possessed him. And this would literally be the trial of the devil made me do it.
And they were trying to use that because they were getting away with that shit in Europe, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I seen on the doc that we were watching.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like a defense that actually did work in Europe, like in a couple of trials. Yeah, I seen that shit. And
Europeans, what the fuck?
Yeah, the devil made me do it. And didn't work over here. At least that judge kind of fucking was like, nah.
The judge in Bridgeport, Connecticut, or whatever county that was like, no.
No, he was like.
So this is what they decided to turn around and make it a self-defense case, because Alan had a hold of one of the girls who was a minor child, which was a crime within itself. So, but that didn't work either. Well, it kind of did, because
brought it down to manslaughter.
Manslaughter. Arnie is sentenced to 25 years, but he gets 5.
He was a good boy.
And he received some degrees in prison, and he married Debbie in prison, and he was out in 5 years. Now, he was on parole, so he had probably another 5 of probation. I don't really know how long,
what a beautiful wedding. If I ever go to prison, let's get a divorce and get remarried back in prison.
You're so dumb.
No way we can have a beautiful wedding.
Well, I think in prison, that's the only way that you can go see
the only conjugal visits
a person that's not related to you. So I think you can only have people that are related to you. So if you're not married, I don't know the rules.
Yeah. But it probably depends on the prison,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because, that wouldn't make sense, because there's murderers that have journalists and all that shit come in and talk to them. So I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that, 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 I don't know that happens a lot. A girl that I used to work with, I just seen that she just married this guy like out of the blue. This was just, being nosy on Facebook. Well, it was in my newsfeed. And then he was in prison.
Dude, we did a string of podcasts where women were like chasing after the murderers and serial killers and shit.
Oh, I know. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Now, at the same time,
Revolution.
I'm very glad that Lori.
There you go. That was a good one.
But that's a different one.
That's a different story. That's a different thing.
Got involved with Damien to help save him from death row.
Yes.
She was like, oh my God, he didn't do this. Let me help him. And then they fell in love, and she has worked, and they married, and she has worked her ass off for, what is it, 30 years now? 25, I think, is how long she's been involved.
And that was our last October's where we did the whole satanic panic stuff then, because we think, and we keep bringing that back up because we support them boys. We really do.
And we're waiting. We're just waiting for the justice.
That's what we're waiting on. We're going to keep bringing those guys up from the Memphis 3.
Got out of prison. So go back and listen. We have a 3parter on that. West Mississippi.
We've been talking about them forever. Man.
Oh yeah, I'm going to plug them forever because I'm very just, I don't know. That case is really special to me. But yes, those guys got out on an Alfred plea, but they are still convicted murderers. And they didn't do it. And the guy that did, or the people that did commit the murders, have never been brought to justice.
They still walking around.
Which
I think is one person, but that's just our opinion. Just our opinion. Revolution.
Our opinion, revolution. But
I'm glad this is kicking in because I was kind of blah, dude. We went and ate earlier, and
we had fam.
Been relaxing.
Breakfast / lunch brunch with the fam.
Got the cosmic vibe over here trying to get me alive. Revolution.
And I am sitting. I've turned my air down, but I'm sitting over here on the verge of a hot flash.
Oh yeah, full Perry mode over here.
Yeah, I'm like, it's already starting to beat up. But so we're gonna wrap up our recap. So that is, go back and listen to the full episode to get all the details. And so when you're watching The Devil Made Me Do It, just think about it with
and a lot of that really tied in
different frame of mind.
To
actually, we haven't watched that one.
No,
we just watched The Conjuring 1 and 2. And we've watched a couple of the nuns. They suck.
So, but like
and
a lot of that all ties in just the same with what happened in Ocean Avenue. It was like, okay, they're trying to dive off into something they can't afford.
Way out of their price range.
Money stress, right? Now you're adding the alcohol and you're adding the relationship and the crazy status of all that and being able to persuade children into doing something that's crazy and then build a whole thing. And then boom, boom. Ed and Lorraine show up, and then everything is just completely fucking scriptured, and a lot of it ties in with the exorcism. So,
and I want to go ahead because we're going to talk about Ed and Lorraine for 2 more episodes. So I want to go ahead and mention so far things that they have made money off of just by what we talked about. So they've made money off of Amityville book and movie. They've made money off of the Glatzel family book and an entire universe of movies. And there's going to be more books and more movies that we're going to talk about in the next episode. So,
and here in comes Netflix, so they're going to cha-ching on that one too, right?
I don't know if they made any money off of those. I mean, they were both gone by that point.
Well, Ed and Lorraine didn't, but the parties involved.
Yes, parties involved. Yeah. So it's all going to come together, and I'm literally going to list out everything that they had their hand in, like that they made money off of, and they made money off of the Glatzel and Johnson family. And they had even at one point told told David that he was going to be a rich little boy, but he was not. I think it was, what did I say? 40?
They literally did say they were going to be rich, and they all went to California and didn't get fucked shit. I didn't know that.
They got, and now the mother, she went on to do interviews and stuff. The dad, he was a whole vibe. Carl Sr.
with his hat that said, "What is documentary?" Yeah, he was wearing like a trucker hat that said "fuck off" or something. I was like, "That's my guy. That's my guy."
He reminded me of like a mixture of Waylon Jennings and Charlie Daniels.
That's what I said. Waylon's on the screen now. Yeah.
But also with a Charlie Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Old school 70s, good old boy, But yeah, he was a whole vibe. I don't know what I got. I got great vibes from the Carls.
Yeah.
Not from anybody else.
Yeah, no, he was a cool cat, man. I could tell. What are you swatting at me for?
Nah.
But your nails, they're sharp. They're
We
going to
got
put out
plants.
somebody's eyes.
Yeah. It was hot in here. And we had that door open last night. We fried some good chicken. We did the Cheeto chicken tenders.
It was good. It was good. That's where we were watching the doc too, or the Netflix,
we were cooking
the Netflix stuff, and we were cooking, we were chilling, we're doing our thing.
We were frying food, and my house still smells like a fried tender, even with all the wax warmers and candles.
So all in a circle here. Follow us Friday though. We're going to be dropping some shit.
On Halloween, we're going to start part 1 of our 2-part series on Ed and Lorraine Warren and talk about some more cases they're involved in, but give a little backstory and some more information about them.
More about the revolution.
Yes.
Yeah, revolution.
And some
the devil.
Some shit that just kind of blew my mind when I found out about all of their stuff a couple of years ago. So
if you have good evidence, I want video, more audio. I'm still half-assed on the fence, but I don't know, Lindsay. You're like, oh, you're on the fence. I don't know, but I haven't seen enough yet. I want more.
Out of all the cases that I know in my head so far that you don't know.
Yeah.
But there's one, and I'm going to talk about it in a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, you're light years ahead of me on this whole narrative thing. So I'm just now. I have to say that I'm still on the fence right now.
And
Just because
the one that I actually kind of believe they really weren't a part of. They tried to put themselves in it, but they weren't really like big. So that's why I believe
something
it a little
cool
more.
enough to be half-assed legit, and they were like, "But wait, revolution."
Yeah. But anyways, we're gonna wrap up this recap. So stay tuned for our episode on Friday. Happy Halloween! We love you guys so much. We are going to hydrate and get started recording.
And it's going to be like a group 7 type session. So.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We're on group 7.
Well, Friday, not here. You're on group like 6.5, 6.9, maybe.
Yeah.
Group 7 Friday. Check us out. We're going to be there. We're going to be doing 2 parts of Ed and Lorraine. So we're going to start our first part coming up. So we'll see you guys then. So excited though.
We love you so much. Yes. Like, subscribe, comment, follow, share.
And revolution.
For sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. Bye.